Welcome students. Myself Patel Hiren Kumar A, lecturer in Mechanical Department from Vallabh Bhuti Polytechnic, Navsari. Today we will learn a subject fluid mechanics and hydraulic machine which code is 3331903 and we will discuss about fluid and fluid property. First of all, introduction. If the fluid are at rest, the study of them is called fluid state. It means when fluid are in rest position, which is called a fluid state. If the fluid are in motion where pressure force are not considered, the study of them is called fluid kinematic. It means that when fluid are in motion but not consider a pressure force which is known as fluid kinematic. If fluid are in motion and, and pressure force are considered, the study of them is called fluid dynamic. It means when fluid are in motion and also consider a pressure of force, then it's called a fluid dynamic. Fluid. Matter exists in two states, the solid state and the fluid state. The classification of matter is based on the spacing between different molecules of matter as well as on the behavior of matter when subjected to stresses. Because molecules in solid state are spaced very closely, so solid possess compactness and rigidity of form. The molecules in fluid can be moved more freely with the fluid mass and therefore the fluid do not possess any rigidity of form. Thus, fluid exists in two forms, liquid and gas. What is the difference between liquid and gas? Liquid flow and take the shape of their container but maintain a constant volume. Gases expand to fill available volume. Liquid are incompressible while the gas are compressible. Here another difference is fluid and solid. Fluid have no space, solid have a definite space. Fluid cannot sustain a shear force. For example, fluid is always in motion. Solid can sustain a shear force, they remain static. Stress in a function of the rate of strain, thus a fluid has dynamic state. Stress in function of strain, thus a solid maintains a static or quasi-static state. The static property of a fluid cannot be extended to dynamic property. The static property of a solid can be extended to a dynamic property. Here, types of fluid. Here, types of fluid are as under ideal fluid, real fluid, Newtonian fluid, and non-Newtonian fluid. Here, we are discussing about their fluid, ideal fluid. An ideal fluid is a fluid that has no viscosity. It is incompressible in nature. Practically, no ideal fluid are exist. Real fluid. Real fluid are compressible in nature. They have some viscosity. Real fluid implies friction effect. For example, kerosene, petrol, castor oil, etc. Newtonian fluid. Fluid that obey Newton's law of viscosity are known as a Newtonian fluid. For a Newtonian fluid, viscosity is entirely dependent upon the temperature and pressure of the fluid. For example, water, air, emulsion. Non-Newtonian fluids. Fluid that not obey Newton's law of viscosity are known as a non-Newtonian fluid. Example, flubber, oblique, suspension of stretch in water, pastage, glaze and polymer solution, etc. Here, properties of fluid. Properties of fluid determine how fluid can be used in engineering and technology. They have also determined the behavior of fluid in fluid mechanics. They are density, viscosity, surface tension, capillary action, specific weight and specific gravity. Density. Density is the mass per unit volume of a fluid. In other word, it is the ratio between mass and volume of a fluid. Density is denoted by a symbol of rho. Its unit is kg per meter cube. Viscosity. Viscosity is the fluid property that determines the amount of resistance of a fluid to shear stress. It is the property of fluid due to which the fluid offers resistance to flow of one layer of the fluid over another adjacent layer. Dynamic viscosity. Dynamic viscosity of a fluid expresses its resistance to shearing flow, where adjacent layers move parallel to each other with different speed. Kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity, also known as momentum diffusivity. It is the ratio of dynamic viscosity mu to density of the fluid rho. Surface tension, the property of fluid to resist tensile stresses on their surface is called as surface tension. Specific weight, specific weight is the weight processed by unit volume of a fluid. It is denoted by small w. It is unit is Newton per meter cube. Specific weight varies from place to place due to change of acceleration due to gravity of g. Capillary action. Capillary action is the property of fluid to flow in a narrow space without assistance of and in opposition to external forces like gravity. The effect can be seen in the drawing of liquid between the heads of paint brush in a thin tube in a porous material such as paper and plaster. In some non-porous material such as a sand or in a cell, it occurs because of intramolecular forces between the liquid and surrounding solid surface. Specific gravity. Specific gravity is the ratio of specific weight of the given fluid to the specific weight of standard fluid. It is denoted by the letter of S. It has no limit. Thank you very much.